Hey guys, Francis here with TheBrimFactor, and in today's video we're going to talk all about dividends. And the reason why I decided to talk about this topic is because sometime last month MTN paid out dividends to their shareholders. A lot of you guys got the dividend, and I started to get messages about how this works. Is it going to be something MTN would do every single month? You know, is it going to be periodic and all that kind of question? And that's why I decided to talk about dividends. So what are dividends? Dividends simply means an amount of money paid out from a company to their shareholders from profits made over a period of time. It could be annual, or it could be a couple of months. It's something that the board of the company decides, and once they decide to pay these dividends, everyone who is a shareholder of the company will get the dividends paid to them. And this dividends is also calculated according to the amount of shares that each shareholder has. It will not make sense that I have 10,000 units of shares and someone else has 100 and someone else has 10, and we all receive the same amount in payments when it comes to receiving dividends. So it's calculated based on your shares. What that means is, if the company decides to pay $1 per share as dividend, it means that if you have 10 shares or 10 units of shares, you will have $10. If you have 100 units of shares, you get $100, and if someone else has 1,000 units of shares, they will get $1,000, making the whole system fair. Another thing that is worthy of note is the fact that dividends are not compulsory and dividends are not periodic. No company is obligated to pay dividends from time to time, maybe every single month or every single year. It's just something companies do to say thank you to everyone who bought their shares, and of course by virtue of that they have helped them to make that profit, so they just say thank you by giving you dividends. So to answer the question, are you going to get this every month or every year, the answer is no, but depending on the company. I read an article where they said MTN usually does this. It's something they do annually. With MTN, you might see these dividends come in every single year, but if you have shares with other companies, maybe Nigerian companies or even international companies, you may not get dividends at all. It's not something to be expected. It's just a surprise, a bonus, and you may or may not get it. I mean, big companies like even Amazon don't pay out dividends at all, and some of them have the logic of saying it's kind of like a waste of money. It's best that we take that money and reinvest it into the business, and then our shares and our company will do better, and then we're going to reward our shareholders by actually making the company do better and making their shares worth more, and all of that stuff. So different companies, different logic, different ideologies. Another thing about dividends that I want to point out is that if your company or a company that you are investing in is paying out dividends from time to time, that could be a pointer that the company is doing well. And there are so many things, there are so many metrics by which you can judge a company or measure their performance, and dividends can be one of them. So if, for instance, you invest in a company and you notice that they pay dividend quarterly or annually, and all of a sudden you notice a drop in the amount of times they pay dividend, or they don't even pay dividend at all compared to how they do in the past, then it could be a pointer that this company is not doing as well as they used to do. Of course, there are other more visual, more direct ways to know that this company is not doing well, but dividends could be a very real, a very practical way for you to know that, hey, something is wrong. It means that they are not making as much profit as they used to. Usually they would pay dividends when they make a lot of profit and even in the surplus, and oftentimes as well the amount of dividends they pay could also tell you. So for instance, if they are paying $1 per dividend this year, and then the next day they pay 50 cents, you know they might not be doing as well as they did last year. Or they now decide to pay $2, you can tell, oh, maybe they're making more and even more surplus this year than they did previously. So these are just ways that dividends can help you analyze a company's performance. And with MTN currently paying dividend, it's actually a good sign for everyone who has bought their shares, to tell you that the company is actually doing well. And even physically, if you look at the shares, you can see that from the time of purchase to this point, it has gone up by, it's dancing around 20 to 47% increase in the value or the worth of the shares. To recap, it is decided by the company. It's not compulsory, it's not mandatory. Number two is dividends is not something you should expect every single month. It's decided by the company as well. They can decide to pay monthly or annually or quarterly, anyhow they want to pay out dividends. And number 3, dividends could be a pointer, could be a metric by which you measure a company's performance. Well, if you still have any questions about dividend or any other thing about investing, you can leave a comment in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer the question to the best of my knowledge. And if you're an MTN shareholder and you have not been keeping track of your MTN shares, consider watching this video that I did, and I talked about how to actually track your MTN shares and even trade them. You can buy and sell right now. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.